What's good, guys? Who is Tunde here? Welcome to another episode of Afrobeats Weekly, your podcast about African music on the continent and the diaspora. What's going on? What's happening? Happy New Year, guys. This is the first episode of the year. Thank you guys for rocking with us all through last year. This year promises to be another amazing year. I'm sounding like all these radio guys. Promises to be another amazing year. Anyway, you know how we do. I'm going to get the news, album reviews, music charts. If it happened in Afrobeats, best believe you are going to get it on Afrobeats Weekly. Shout out to all you guys DMing me. Odus from Japan. I see you. You don't finally show. So it's another year, another rate and review call. This will not change. Before we get into today's episode, I need you guys to please rate and review the podcast. Engage with us. It helps us grow. It helps us get noticed. So as you're listening from your favorite app right now, you know how we do. Leave that 5-star rating and comments. We'd appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. On today's episode of Afrobeats Weekly, we will be discussing our Afrobeats outlook for the year 2023, what we should be looking forward to, that kind of thing. On the review tip too, we've got Sheyi Vibes and Zinoliski. These guys drop projects. We'll be checking them out. And as usual, new songs, spotlight of the week, turntable charts, eliminates, and all that other good stuff. I got my partner in pod. Show, what's going on, brother?
What's good, my G? What's good? Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year, man. How fun? How was the
good. It was chilled. It was nice. It was great to, watch people complain about not experiencing a concert till 3 a.m., but we'll get into that in the show.
Did you get into any new music, or was it just the old stuff, the backlog of stuff you didn't listen to? Or was that
it was just backlog. It was pretty much just the backlog, a couple of new songs. I would say new songs, but songs that are trending on TikTok now. So, yeah.
Yeah, everybody hears TikTok trending songs. You can't escape it. Almost the same thing here. It was a chilled Christmas too, for some good reason. PCN give us 2 hours, the special holiday and everything. After that, they've gone back to their default setting. No light again. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Same thing here. Backlog of stuff, trying to catch up on new stuff as usual. Nothing really crazy. Anyways, we've got fan mail this week. Thank you guys for writing to us. Blessing from Festac. What's up, Blessing? Blessing says, where are you guys? Oh, we're here. Stumbled upon the last episode where you guys broke down the artist of the year and album of the year. I can't help but agree with you guys on album of the year. It will always be between Love Damini and Boy Alone. My artist of the year for 2022 is Kiss Daniel. He gave us a very good album and enough hit songs to last all year. You guys think we can have another Ashake again, or can Ashake give us back-to-back hits like last year? Kudos to you guys. I'm a new listener. Welcome, Blessing. Welcome. Thanks for reaching out. To be honest, I'm not mad at you for having Kiss Daniel as Artist of the Year. He had a fantastic year. Had hits to back it up. But Burna and Ashake, those guys not just green, man. And I think she said, do we think he can give us another year of hits like last year? I'd say never say never. Some people want him to evolve with the sound. Some people want him to stay the same. But one thing is clear. I think he's very talented. And he's going to be here for a long time. I'm just praying, breaks that sophomore jinx that people usually have. And I think Ashake will be in top 3 or top 5 this year, artist-wise. What do you think?
It depends. Well, like I said, it all depends on what he wants to do. If he's gonna, try and give us another album, if he's gonna take a break, try and rediscover his sound. But I feel like he's in the mode of Olamide. I know when Olamide had us on lock, Olamide was choking us. So I feel like Ashake would do the same thing and probably just beat us to death with album after album, with hits after hits. So yeah, let's wait for, let's see.
Yeah. Well, I'm not mad at that, man. As long as he keeps giving us hits and as long as the listeners accept him. Shakir will be here to stay. He's got everything on lock. Thank you, Blessing. Anyway, guys, don't forget to send us messages at fanmail@afrobeatspod.com. That's fanmail@afrobeatspod.com. So let's kick off the show proper with some news. Rema's countdown, like that's our first news, tops the Indian industry charts. This is what we talked about last year. The power of strategic collaborations and what it can do. His remix with Selena Gomez kicks off the charting year in India as the number one song. Not even surprised at what the numbers are doing, because Selena Gomez not cheats when it comes to numbers.
Yeah. That's a market with 1 billion people, so you can just imagine.
Yeah. So from Rema to Burna, we also have Burna in the news. Burna Boy's Ye goes platinum in the US, and he's set to perform at Coachella. Again, no surprises there for both. I think Ye was that turning point in terms of, him going international with his sound. The song was released in 2018, I think, off his Outside album, and he has been making giant strides from there. He's going to be performing at Coachella this year again on April 14th and 21st. So if you're in California around that time, go watch Burna perform. That man doesn't miss when it comes to performances, man. Doesn't miss.
I was gonna say, so when when the Coachella list came out, I mean, they did better this time. Burna's not like the headline for the day, but he's number 3. So his fonts are not that small. So he'd be all right this time.
You can't
I think he'd be all right.
I think Bad Bunny is the headline on that one. So you can't headline Bad Bunny. Yeah. You can't outfont Bad Bunny on that. He got the best fonts he could get. So pretty much. It was last year. It was when he performed. This one is bigger, so he will get there. Anyways,
you'll get there for sure.
In other news, Whiskey, Thames, Burna again, CK, Fireboy have been nominated. They've all been nominated for the High Art Radio Music Award, with Thames leading the nomination for Nigerian artists. She bagged nominations for Best Collaboration category with her song with Future, Wait For You, Afrobeats Artist of the Year, R&B Song of the Year, and Best New R&B Artist. She's just taken off from where she left off last year. This year, God of Thames again is working full time.
He's working hard. And something like I think Burna and Fireboy also got nominations for the Brits Awards. So that's another one to add. I mean, man.
You know, got news that I got that bagging these awards, man. It's now like, man. It's not becoming these guys. Yeah. So, last bit of news. To be honest, I didn't really want to write about this because I just felt that this person was, just wanted attention. And if I'm being honest, just borderline silly, because this is something that could have been avoided. And I'm talking about Brimo. He has come to apologize for his Igbo presidency tweets. While I have no problem with supporting whatever candidate you want to support, it's your choice, you made it. I think a line must be drawn in tweeting and retweeting stuff that hurts people and different tribes. I don't want to read what he tweeted. You guys can just go and Google it. Google Brimo and whatever I tweeted will pop up. I personally don't buy the apology, but he has apologized. Anyways, he has apologized and he's saying we should move on, blah, blah, blah. But this is a good segue from us here at the pod to go get your PVCs and vote. I know we don't usually go political, but we've come to that part and there you have it. That's Tunde's political rant of the year. Go get your PVCs and vote. Let's move on to today's main topic, moving on from politics to getting into Nigerian music and Afrobeats proper. Our topic this week, like I said, is just basically what we are looking forward to this year in the wonderful world of Afrobeats, the growing genre. I think we should start with artists we think we rule the year. So, of course, we have the usual suspects, the big 4 or 5 wherever you want to place it. Davido, Burna, Wiz, Olamide. I think all these guys are going to drop albums. Like I've consulted.
Really?
I'm an Oracle says 70% sure these four guys are going to drop albums, but let's see. I'll come back to this.
No.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to hear what these guys have to offer in terms of sound. Are they going to like deliberately shift their sounds and experiment to cater to like these new fans? Or are they going to give us that familiar sound we associate them with? I don't know what you think on that.
So, first of all, I don't think Burna and Wiz are going to drop albums this year.
Really?
So this year,
he's already posted Soundman 2 on his story. So, knowing Wiz may or may not. But yeah, continue. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe Soundman 2, but I don't know, like a proper album, like his own, like, you know, I don't know. What
like
do you call it?
MIL kind of, yeah. But it's going to drop
exactly.
I don't know about album, but project's going to drop this guys. Yeah. So let's just
all right. So project from Wiz is definitely going to happen. Yeah. Might happen. Actually, we can be sure of Wiz, but Burna, I don't think Burna is going to drop an album this year.
Yeah.
So this year is for Davido, and we're also waiting for Olamide's last album. So I think that's what we're going to get this. I think that's what we're going to get this year.
Yeah. So do you think they're going to like? What do you expect from these guys? Switching their sounds to like cater to like this new Afrobeats audience, or do you think they should just stay the same and give us like what we know they usually drop?
But I all of them per se have been like switching their sounds. Like I'm gonna say like they're gonna stay the same. They're just gonna drop quality music. So at the end of the day, that's what they're known for. They're known for dropping quality music. So they just find a way to incorporate whatever is popping right now to how we've always known them. So somehow, some way, they're the blueprints to longevity. So they know what to do. So basically, that's it.
Yeah. You're not far from it. I also think these guys, you know, with this their newfound audience, they're just going to like sprinkle one or two. I'd say, you know, that Grammy sound or that international sound that might just catch the audience out there and the diaspora audience and see where it takes off. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting year. It will also be interesting to see what all these new guys have in store for us. Obviously, Ashake set the rookie standard very high last year. So let's see who's going to get it this year. I'm keeping my eye on quite a number of people. The Maven Camp, I think all their guys are going to drop projects. All those guys that they introduced to us last year, I expect those guys to give us projects this year.
All of them?
Them, Crayon, maybe all those guys that I want down. The 3.0 guys. All the Crayon and the 3.0 guys. Wow. I think we'll get like something from each of them. I also think they will unveil one or two more artists this year in their usual fashion. My bold prediction, I think this will be Ruga's year. I'm really rooting for him. I'm also looking at guys like Odu Black, YKB, Cold as Fuck, Means, Bloody Civilian, and this pedestrian guy that won this Hennessy Cypher. I don't know. I think this will be a good year for rap too. All these guys were on my radar last year, and I can't wait to see, you know, where they take their craft to this year. Collaborations are something I think will be very huge this year. I won't be surprised if we get one Afrobeats act on a Rihanna album which drops this year. I won't be surprised at all.
No, that's easy. That's easy. No, that's definitely gonna happen. So
I won't be surprised.
That's not far-fetched. Yeah.
Anyways, in things we want to see improve this year, artists, should we kneel down for you? I know the odds are mostly stacked against you guys in terms of like concerts wise, but please, can you come early to your concerts this year? A little professionalism doesn't hurt when you guys, especially when these guys pay so much money for you guys to come and watch you perform. Don't be disrespecting us.
Okay, today I have to jump in. Okay, so I have to jump in.
Yeah, jump in.
Exactly. This is my rep. Okay, so I have to jump in and like fight for the artists on this one.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Now, people think that Now, so like people think that the artists are the ones that come in late.
Yeah.
I could say like maybe 10% of the time that is true. And the reason why they do not come late when they like perform abroad is because the hall that they rented to do their show, right, is already set up. I would say like 12 hours before the actual show is about to start. So everything is already in place. So the equipment, the lights, everything, the sound guy already knows that he's being paid for the day. So he's already come early. So everything's already been set up.
Yeah.
So, sound check can happen at 3:00. It can happen at 12 noon or whatever. They already know. So if they've already come, they've already done their sound check. But you can't come and say that a place like, Echo Atlantic, where the equipment's were not even set up till 6 p.m. When is he going to do the sound check?
So
that's it. Like, exactly. Like, so we have to always think about it. Like the people that are setting up these concerts or the people that are setting up these shows, they know that they need to pay these guys, a day before, like, or tell them, oh, look, I'm going to have your equipment for a full day or 2 days, like, because there's nothing happening the day before at that same location. So if they had, the equipment, the day before, they could have set up that whole thing, the night before. So the artists would just come in the morning, do sound check and bounce. But no, given the fact that, they want to make maximum amount of money, so they won't rent it for 2 days. They just take it for like, a couple, let's say I'm using it for a couple day and stuff like that. That's where they chop into like, they don't want to make as much profit. No, they don't want to have that chop into their profit. So they don't want to rent it for 3 days. They just want to rent it for a day. That's the problem, man. And so that hurts the artists because the artists can't do sound check on time. And all of a sudden everybody's complaining that, the sound is not working. And all of a sudden, so the artists have to come in, like, so they've done all the tests. And it's by 3 a.m. that's, everything is not working. So the artist now comes to perform.
So you're saying more blame on promoters than more blame on artists?
Definitely more blame on promoters.
Okay, so but in the case of Burna Boy, where he comes out and says, I just come here because I just want help now. Like, that's it.
No, because first of all, clearly, okay, yes.
Bag is not here.
I took that line as, oh, look, this show is not even set up properly, but I'm still here chilling until they've gotten everything right so I can perform. That's what I took it as, because he could have easily just said, oh, look, this thing is not set up. Yeah, you people are wasting my time, and bounced. But people have been there waiting. Exactly. So, and if he bounces, it's not on him. It's from you people to get your money from the promoters, because the promoters did a shit job. So that's why it's kind of weird, because exactly. So it's kind of weird because he's not the one that set up the show. He's being paid by a promoter to come and perform. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's being paid by a promoter to come and perform. It's a promoter's business, it's their job to make sure everything is right for the artists and for the fans. So, okay.
I get you. But it is promoters, artists, whoever it is. I think this is one trend we want to see leave this music industry in 2023. No more late coming. Set up the sound. You have to set up the sound. Pay whoever it is. You have to pay the venue, pay the sound guy. Just no more late. We don't want to be standing for 6 hours just to watch you perform for 1 hour. Anyways, jokingly, it's still in the spirit of what we, want to go away.
Don't want to see.
I say I don't want to see crowd chorus this year again. I'm tired. I'm tired of crowd chorus. I'm like, you guys come and take your crowd chorus away. Give us something fresh or something new. I don't know if you have any trend you don't want to see this year.
I don't know if I'm done with Amapiano or if I just don't want to hear it so many more times. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. I can't count if I'm done yet.
You don't know how much more you can take.
Exactly. I don't know, like, do I just have two more piano songs in me, or do I have four? I don't know. I don't know yet, but
I think
every week I'm
it's
tired.
depending on who's doing it. Maybe Nigerians, the South African and piano still the sweet, but Nigerian or the graduates still they enter. So let's see how much more amapiano and how much more crowd chorus we can take this year. So that's it, guys. I don't know what you guys want to see, what you guys want to go away. You can always shoot us, engage with us. So we are moving on to the new song segment. Nothing too crazy, still like the beginning of the year. So a lot of people are really not dropping. But over the holidays, we had, some few gems, and we didn't want you guys to miss. We always recommend that good stuff for you. First song, People by Libianca, sorry. Why am I saying Libianca?
I've been drinking alcohol for the past 5 days.
If you've been in... Yes, that's a jammer's jam. This song is gradually creeping into everyone's playlist. It's a very dope song. The lyrics, the melodies, our voice, the beats. It's just like you said, just an all-round fire song. I had it on repeat every time I heard it. I totally love it. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard it, but if you haven't heard it, this looks like the first hits of the year. I'm calling it maybe top 5 hits of the year. People by Libianca. You guys should check it out. It's a very hot song.
Before they'd be like, who's Libianca? So it's kind of Cameroon origin, so Afrobeats is still in it. So come on. Yeah.
And she was also on, I think it was also on The Voice. I don't know which year, but she was on one of Yankee's Voice. When I was checking out, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think it was 2020. I want to say it's 2020.
So you can actually sing, man, guys. So check it out. People by Libianca, if you haven't already. Another song we jammed this over this holiday was War by Means. This is a very smooth song. It has that like mellow Afropop vibe, with the trumpets and the beats. The one thing this song is just lacking is Whiskey just jumping on it and it becomes a fire hit. This is his brand, right?
For real, like this. Yeah, this is a really good song, and exactly as you said, if it doesn't like pick up by itself, the only thing that's holding it back is just like one of the big guys just jumping on the remix.
Exactly.
It's gonna push the song.
Yeah, no lies there. Another one we bumped. This one just came out recently. My Only Baby by Rick Hassani. This one, obviously, Rick Hassani is in his element. That mid-tempo music to serenade the ladies. Not mad at this one at all. Not mad at it.
This is hashtag 2023 Nigerian weddings. That's basically what this song is.
Exactly.
They're just gonna keep playing this on all them Bella Ninja reels, pretty much for the first quarter first quarter. So this is a wedding song for the first quarter. We'll see what he does in the next quarter.
Rick Hassani doing what Rick Hassani do, man. Giving us that jam, that wedding jam. So yeah, those are the songs. Hopefully, guys will start releasing music from Friday, and they'll be choking us with it. Anyways, new music to new albums. Sheyi Vibe said, I want to choke you guys with new music, and he dropped something again over the break. A 5-track project called Memory Card. Sheyi Vibes is someone we're always keeping an eye on. He did our list. He was on our spotlight of the week last year. We also reviewed his album last year. This one is a 5-track project, but to me, it feels like one long song from number 2 to 4. I feel like he has found his style and what he's comfortable with. That like 50 word in one bar type of style that he did on his hit song Chance. To be honest, some people love it, some people don't. But I think one thing is for sure, you go to these guys' shows and people are singing these songs word for word. So whatever he's doing is clearly working. I feel like these are just old songs. They just wanted to test that, do people really like this type of, this type of delivery, this type of vibe? So I think people really like it. More people like it than people that don't like it. So I think if it continues with this run, it might just go from trenches to mainstream. I'll be like, I mean, like rookie of the year at the end of the year, man. So what do you think?
So yeah, I feel like he's gonna be rookie of the year. I feel like he's gonna have a let's say like a quality year. So yeah, not like a big year, but I think he was gonna have a quality year. I think like he has so much music that he's recorded, and like as you said, people just like a couple. People like, you know, there's some that people really like. So he's just, you know, feeding the market, seeing which one's they're gonna latch on, which is gonna be his next hits. So, and he goes from there. So yeah.
Not mad at it at all, man. Sheyi Vibes memory card. You guys should check it out if you haven't. Let's know what you think. So from Sheyi, we are moving to Zeno. Zeno also dropped a project over the holidays, which I think was a big mistake because, you know, putting out a project at the end of the year, you are just going to get lost in that music conversation. But trust us here, you know, we don't let good music pass us by. I listened to the project, you know, Liski, Great and Lost. Very funny title, but from the title, you can just kind of like get sort of where his mind is. This one is an 8-song project with features from Ayasta and Omale. Production is handled by Baby Beats, Media, Young John, and of course, Nif Keys. Can't miss on that one. Like I said earlier, the album title matches most of the songs, subject matter, you know, hustle, women, sex. Zeno always talks about. I really enjoyed the album. Very versatile in terms of sound, especially because the streets wanted to know if he could do anything other than I'm a piano. And guys, yes, he can. He can do. Zeno's bag is very deep. I think Aya and Oma came through for me with their features. I really liked Ordinaka, and of course, Call of Duty. This was one smooth play for me. I don't think I skipped any song, and I've been going back to the album. It's a really good album. And it's Zeno just showing that he can rock with the best, man. Just showing he can rock with the best. So check it out if you haven't, guys. Zeno, Liski, Grits, and Lost. Let's know what you think. So, moving on to the spotlight of the week. This girl, I really, really, really love this song. Her name is, I don't know if it's Winnie or Winnie. I tried to look for interviews where she pronounced her name, but I don't see him. So let me just say Winnie, spelled Winny. So Winnie is a multi-genre artist from Benue State. She recently just released her debut single called Pretty. I'm gonna say Petty, called Pretty. It's like blend of English and Pidgin, and it has that R&B and Afropop beat. You can check out a video on YouTube. It's also a very fantastic minimalist video like this. And according to her, she wrote Pretty to communicate self-love. She's like, oh, there's nobody that can love me like me. I want to embrace things themselves regardless of who they are, what they are, what they're going through. What did you say like that? You gotta check out. I'm serious. This song is a jam. Pretty by One. You guys should check it out. Add it to your playlist and come back and tell me if it was a jam or not.
All right. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. No problem.
Anyways, from our spotlight of the week, we are getting into the turntable charts. Nothing much really changed, you know, over the holiday. Couple of movements here and there. Number one, I think it shouldn't be much of a surprise, but let's get into it. At number 10, we have Chance Naham by Sheyi Vibes. This song is doing a madness in the streets. It's climbing. At number 9, we have Two Sugar, Whiskey and Ayasta. Number 8, we still have the man of the moment, Joha Ashake. Number 7, Loaded, Tiwa Savage and Ashake. So by Omale. Number 6. Number 5, Call for Door, She's Daniel. Number 4, Extra Cool by Young John. Number 3, Personal, Zinoliski. Number 2, Wondamo by the Maven's Crew. And number 1 is Ashiwaju by Roga. Like I said, no surprises here. It's everywhere. Social media, the streets, everybody's singing it. It's a really fantastic jam. And I'm loving it. So yeah, no surprises there. Ashiwaju by Roga is this week's number 1 on the turntable chart. So, nice. Yeah. Let's move on to.
Just before we jump into the 5, I wanted to say something. You know how like last year we reviewed the Wizkid album, and you said Are you sure that it's not going to be everywhere by December? I just want to find out if we're still on par. Like,
I
it's
think,
not.
yeah, for both of us, it's different. I was watching a clip yesterday where the person was like, he doesn't like Burna Boy's album. He doesn't like Ashake's album. He doesn't like Omale's album, but he loves Wizkid's album. I think it's the album of the year. And I was like, oh, maybe I need to clean my ears because
Yeah, but I know for fact that guy was like that guy for fact was based in the UK. So I don't really like.
Okay,
I don't say that. I don't listen to you. Your opinion doesn't count, but it's just like
UK for your opinion on Afrobeats. I get you. But yeah, I wouldn't say the album is underperforming. I'll say it just did what it needed to do. It's still up there and on the charts and everywhere, but like we said, I don't know, nothing has changed. Let's just put it like that.
All right, okay. I was just finding out. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Finding out nothing has changed. Anyways, man, let's move on to the fives. And my fives is inspired by Coachella. These are top 5 artists I love to see perform at Coachella. And I'm talking big fonts, so I'm not talking small fonts. 5 Nigerian artists. Maybe later down the line. Of course, Rema. In no particular order, I have Rema. We've all seen what this guy can do. He's a raver, and I think he just totally killed a Coachella performance. Next on my list, someone I'm rooting for, Ruga. He has that fresh, that dancehall vibe and his melodies. And I think those white people at Coachella are just going to eat him up, man. I'm just going to vibe to it. And again, on my list, I have Thames. I know she has racked up enough big hits to throw that Coachella crowd, her vibe, her voice. I just know that she's going to kill a Coachella stage. I also have Aya Star on my list. She's fun. She's exciting. She has the voice. She has the hits. And she has that female stage presence to like thrill like a Coachella crowd. Makes you just appear in that brat up and miniskirt and they just love her, man. So my final pick, and this is a bit weird. I think Ashake. I don't know why. I'd love to see Ashake on a Coachella stage. I think the crowd, that Coachella crowd just love to like vibe and dance to fresh tunes. So I just think for some reason when Juha comes, I just got to be jumping up and dancing aimlessly. And so yeah, Ashake is my 5th pick of big font Nigerian guys I love to see on a Coachella stage in the near future. What's yours?
Not a bad list. Not a bad list. My top 5 is I split it up in 2. So my top 5 is artists who should give us albums in 2023. And by artists, I'd be like artists that haven't given us albums in a while. And then I have artists that had a good year in 2022 who need to give us albums in 2023. So first part is who haven't given us albums in a while is Onusi the Engine. I just feel like he was captain of the Alte ground, and like so it's been a while since we had an album from him. And his sound is always sweet. I mean, like a full album. So I need an album from him. Next on my list is One Day Cole. One Day gave us a couple of singles last year that were banging. Another single that I really didn't like pick up, of course, was like one of my top 5 songs of last year was him and DJ Tunes. I understand how that song did not make it. But anyways, One Day Cole needs to give us an album. Tiwa Savage for sure. She had the single with Brandy and the short EP, but we'll do a full project.
The full one,
Ricardo Banks. I don't know if he had an album last year.
No, I don't think so. I think he dropped like an EP or so.
Exactly. So
but I think Ricardo.
We're due for a Ricardo Banks album. Hopefully a couple banging singles this year and we can get that. And last on my list is Poe. I don't think Poe has given us an album since he's been on Maven. So he's giving us EPs. But yeah.
True. That's very true, man. That's very true.
Poe album. So come on, Maven. make it work.
Especially the fact that you have to like make singles and stuff like that. So we're due
Exactly.
one album.
We're doing one album. Yeah. So, and for sure, people that need to give us albums this year, for sure. Fails, Young John, Oxlade, Thames, and I know you're gonna be like, he just gave us an album last year. Nah, really. I don't know if that album was enough, but I think Rema needs to give us an album this year.
You know what? You're not far from the truth. I didn't like the album Confession Time. I like 2-3 songs. But yeah, I think so, especially because he's my guy's guy when it comes to music. I really like
exactly.
So I feel like you should give us
just
something.
Just a nice 10-track album.
Yeah,
short and we just hits all through. So yeah.
So yeah, let me ask you, from the top 4 guys who are just amongst all of them, who's the person you're most excited to hear? Just one person, just one pick. So Davido, Burna, Wiz, Olamide. Pick one.
I've heard everybody I think it's Davido's year. It's comeback year. So I'm more excited to hear what Davido has for us this year.
Yeah. So, for me, I don't know why Olamide. I feel like he still has something to prove. He has gone and come from his his Diddy mode. So now he just needs to come back to artist mode and give us something.
I mean,
not a bad list.
I mean, it's going to be Olamide's last album, as he says, right? So I don't think I'm dying to hear it because it's his last album. I want to I want to keep him around for a while. So I'm dying to hear the album.
I can't even believe it. There's no artist that said this is my last album that's stuck to it being his last album. So
Olamide is that kind of person. He's so chilled. Because look at him, man. He did nothing.
Yeah. Let's see, Sha. Let's see.
Exactly.
Let's see. All right, then. There you have it. Our 5s. And we've got a very interesting one on Eliminate on today's episode. Albums Turning 10 edition. And I paired it in such a very interesting way. Let's go the R&B route first. Nyanya's Desire versus Banky W's R&B W. Just know that. Let me just give you refresher course. Nyanya's Desire. This one had some fire hits. Flavor. I love that song. Yeah, obviously it had Your Waist, Rukere, Sexy Mama with Wizkid. So that was a fire album. Banky's R&B W, very solid album. Loving You, Yes No, Low Key. Those songs were all jams. So on this R&B edition of Eliminate, which one are you picking?
You already know what we're picking. So first of all, I'm picking these based on how we reviewed them 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
That's why. So you already know that I can remember.
Yeah,
I can remember what we were doing. So with that being said, I think we gave Banky like a 4 out of 5 back then. So
yeah,
Banky R&B is getting it easy.
Are you serious? Not Nyanya's Desire. That album had the whole streets in the chokehold, man. Remember?
It had the whole streets in the chokehold, but it had singles that had the whole streets in the chokehold. But remember, it had some horrible songs.
All right. Baggy's RBW for you. Let's move on to the Chalk City edition. Jesse Jack, Nation Come, and Ice Prince, Fire of Zamani. This album, I'm not going to lie, it got mostly made to negative reviews. But I think listening back today, I'm sure people would have chilled on the criticism. It had some heavy features. Cheap, French Montana, Wale, Burna, Whiskey, Sonny Energy. It was a very commercial heavy album. I'm not even going to lie. It had Aboki. Aboki had another Aboki remix with 20 people on it. It had Whiskey, it had Jumbo. Versus Jesse Jack's Nation Come. I don't even think up till now I've heard an album that was this properly produced. Jack was in his Jamo era, and they did kill that Jamo era. The album had Burning Bush from Asita, Sex and Scotch, Bad Girl with Wizkid. So yeah, what say you? I think this one is easy for you.
It's so crazy. We both know it's easy, but you know that I also kind of feel like Ice Prince was like 5 years too early.
Exactly. I think
It's crazy, right? Back then,
I'm
we
not gonna lie. Yeah, I also take blame in like because this guy wanted to commercialize the genre, but we did not. Nobody gave him a chance, to be honest.
bruh, like I'm saying that, like he was just 5 years too early. Like if Jags had just, like I said, Jags, like if Ice Prince had just come out like 5 years later, we would have
Exactly.
like, you know
When
what?
the
It's
climate
kind of
was
nice.
much more chilled.
Vibes.
Like, yes, exactly.
These vibes are nice, but oh my goodness,
But you don't hungry. You just come and just you just begin to abuse fire on the man.
Yo, man, I think about, but yeah, this is easy. Jesse Jags was, and Jags is still like, he's still Chalk City's. He was, man,
crazy.
He was still the best performer. Like, like all his albums were just nicely produced, dope songs, dope verses, dope features. That was Jags, man. So yeah,
no lie at all. So this one, I'll call it Battle of the Alter. Burna Boy's Live versus Black Magic's Black Magic version 2.0. This one was also very, very. And those guys dropped very fire music. It was Burna's in the Aristocrat days. The album had MI, Two-Face, Wizkid, Reminisce, Olamide. It also had bangers like Run My Race, Yawa Day, Tonight, Like to Party, and Black Magic's. You know, he also came out with a very fire album. A lot of people will consider it the Alter blueprint. Today, there was Africa on that song, Easy You. Africa. There was Amnesia with MI. There was Commercial Success, Pass You By with Orisha Femi, and of course, Black Magic.
There was.
Yeah. So yeah,
there was. First of all, just for the fact that there was that song, that this album takes it over Burna. I'm sorry, but again, still another album, still another guy that was just maybe 5 years too early.
Exactly.
Black Magic. Oh, bruh. Black Magic represented that jam. Come on. Till today, man. Forever, man. Yo, so yeah. 2.0
let's
takes
get
it.
to the battle of the rappers. Olamide's Baddest Guy Ever Live It and Reminisce's Alaga Ibile. I remember we reviewed both two. Baddest Guy Ever Live It. A lot of people consider it a classic. I consider it a classic. I don't care what anybody says. Sitting on the Throne, Dope Money with Fino, Ribana Bacha, Durosoke. That album was fire from beginning to the end. I still go back to it often. Reminisce. If there was any description like, oh, give me your definition of a hard album, Alaga Ibile was that album. He had Government with Olamide and India, Millennium with Wizkid, you know, Turn It Around with So Sick. Even had the commercial song, Daddy Me with Davido. Even had the feature from Burna. You know, another sick album.
Yeah.
So these two albums were like classic rap albums in my book. It's very hard to pick. I don't know which one you're going to pick.
It's too hard to pick. That's so close. Like literally, they're so close. But the fact that Olamide just had like just more hits back then on this album. It was just, come on, man. 20, it was like 2013. Oh, nah, man. I know Olamide was in his dragon form. So
I swear.
I'll go with Baddest Guy.
All right. So let's get to the next round. We have Banky W's, R&B W, and Black Magic version 2.0.
Black Magic version 2.0 still wins it for me.
Right.
Like I said, 5 years too early, and he would have been like a top 10 superstar.
Bro, no lies at all, man. So this one is difficult. Baddest Guy Ever Live It and Jags Thy Nation Come. Commercial Success versus Critical Acclaim.
I would go with, just for the fact that, so Jags still has another album in his repertoire that's as I think even better, the version volume 2, which is the River. What was it called again?
Yeah,
River
I know that
Niger.
one. Something, Niger country, something. Yeah, I know that album.
Exactly. That one is in Jag's like portfolio. That's his. He's that's his Illmatic.
Yeah.
So for the fact that Olamide, this is pretty much baddest guy ever lived. Pretty much Olamide is one or two top. I would say top 2 albums. So I'll go Olamide with this one.
All right, Olamide makes it to the next round. So we have 2 more, eliminate to 1 more. We have Black Magic's version 2.0 and Olamide's Baddest Guy Ever Liveth. Album 10 edition. Which one is your fave? It's difficult to pick for me too, man. It's difficult to pick for me too.
But I can literally picture myself like I know where I was when I was listening to his 2 albums. Like
exactly.
I can tell you exactly where I was. Like every time I was listening to certain tracks, I could picture the part of Lagos that I was in. So it's crazy. But again, like I said, this is like Olamide's holy grail to me.
Yeah.
So I just go with Baddest Guy Ever Lived right now, because I think if it was like this versus like Black Magic Volume 1, I'll go with Volume 1. But just for the fact that it's Olamide's Badu Love, Position Yourself,
when I was taking the track list, I was like, come on.
Church, Jorosoke, Dope Money with Fino. That was when Fino was not like, oh, snap, nice. My Lover. Come on.
Come on, man. I'm not going to lie.
No.
Yeah, I think Olamide just edges it a bit if you are going with that criteria, man. So there you guys have it. Album turning 10 edition. Olamide's Baddest Guy Ever Lived takes the number 1 album. Thank you, guys. Thank you for rocking with us. We are at the end of the episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of Afrobeats Weekly. Hope you enjoyed it. New episode of the podcast drops every Monday. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is you get your pod from. We would love to hear from you. Engage us. Use the hashtag Afrobeats Weekly. Please leave us comments, suggestions. Send us new music to fanmail@afrobeatspod.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram on AfrobeatsPod. We will catch you on the next episode.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace out.